Welcome back, guys. We are here for a very special draft today. We've got Yanks on the call, which Yanks is the moderator who helps me do set reviews. So most of you guys who pay attention to those will recognize the voice. But this is our sort of mid-season checkup on the format where we come back together after doing the set reviews and just talk about the cards and what formats we've seen that are doing well and see if we have sort of the same drafting ideas going into the draft. So for this one, we don't normally do quick drafts in the channel, but we are going to be doing a quick draft here, so that way Yanks and I don't feel pressured to, be able to make our cases for each individual card. Welcome back, Yanks.
Glad to be here. Hope everyone's enjoying the format.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, I think it is not as fun as Dominaria for me personally, but I also have been playing a lot less than I typically do. I've kind of toned it back, honestly, a lot in the last 3 sets. In fact, I didn't even get set completion. So I feel like that's sort of making the set last a lot longer for me, because normally I'm go super hard for 3 weeks and I'm just oh, this set's kind of lame, like I did with Capenna. But since Capenna, I've sort of really toned it back. How have you been finding them recently?
Somewhat similar. I played a lot of Dominaria. I was traveling a bunch during this set, so I haven't played this as much as Dominaria. But even still, I liked Dominaria United better. The set has felt bombier and more aggressive kind of at the same time, which are both things I don't tend to like.
Yeah, I do like that a lot of the bombs feel very easily removable because a lot of them are artifacts, and that's kind of neat. And artifact removal does seem to be moderately plentiful, even in red, but for the most part, I agree. It does seem a little... It seems like we have a lot more chaff than we have in the last
Agreed.
year or two. So that way I think the big cards make a much bigger difference, because the range of the cards that are seeing play are so much wider than they have been. This feels a little bit more like what limited Magic felt like for me 5 years ago.
Yeah, I also don't particularly enjoy the retro artifacts being in the draft set. I love the look of them because I love old border cards, but as opposed to Mystical Archive and Strixhaven, the fact that these are all permanents tends to make the bombier ones even bombier than the Strixhaven ones were, if that makes sense.
It does. And also the funny thing is half of them, some of them are big bombs in limited, and most of them are just chaff. So it's
Yeah.
super weird that those are so polarizing as well. But let's go
Well,
ahead.
and they can and because unlike Mystical Archives, they're all colorless. They can go in any deck.
Absolutely.
So it makes a big difference on the I lost a match yesterday to Keening Stone, which is just an idiotic card in limited.
Yeah, I played it in one deck. Unfortunately, never found it, but I do think that that is a cool win condition and a great way for me to get cookies this season.
That is true.
All right, so
It
let's
is
go
a
ahead
good cookie provider.
and jump into the draft so we don't take too much time today. This is just open and shut, right? This is one of the biggest bomb mythics in the set.
Yeah, there's no question that what you pick here. Blade Coil Serpent is absurd in any of those colors, particularly if you can play blue as one of them.
I'm actually a little disappointed that the card is so clean cut here, just because I would like to have a little bit more discussion on what is first pickable. But this is, I think, a great start to a deck. So I agree, the blue is the best, black is the second best, red is the next for this card. So that would be my ideal preference as to which colors we're going into with this card. Ideally blue, black. But happy to see where the cards take us.
The only time I've played it in this format, I was straight black red, and it was still amazing.
Oh yeah, absolutely, not close. And I would honestly play it, even if I was just probably even red green. We're still not cutting this card.
Yeah.
It's still fine. It's just not crush all, destroy bombs. I'm sad here. There's the Gaia's Corsair and the Yotian Tactician, which I think are great cards, but all not working very well with the Blade Coil Serpent.
Yeah, I've been pretty down on the soldier deck unless you get the rares. Now, if you do, that deck is unstoppable, but
Yes, it's very, very good. I think the Yotian Tactician is one of those signpost cards that does make that deck very good because it's a fine rate on its own and very, very strong for the other soldiers. But I agree, if you don't have, one rare or two tacticians, the deck is going to fall a little bit flatter than normal. This is we're supposed to be evaluating cards, but like my heart tells me like, okay, let's self-assembler and go the meme deck. But I only tried once and it failed miserably, which is why it didn't make it on YouTube. So what do you like here, Yanks?
I mean, I think the best cards are Courser and Yotian Tactician, but neither of them fit with what our first pick does. Conscripted Infantry has performed better than I expected, but I think that's because Red Aggro has been better than I expected. Paratrooper's fine, but nothing that really goes into any of the colors we want to be doing in Blade Coil Serpent.
I mean, the Depth Charge Colossus is playable. The Gitaxian
Yeah,
Skull Flayer, I think, is quite playable. I'm also okay to just take the Courser if we think that's the best card, and maybe we don't end up in the Blade Coil Serpent. We even talked about how we would take the Serpent even if we were only one of those three colors. So I would hate to just say we're absolutely having to take a red or blue card
agreed.
here. I'm sorry, a black or blue card, and then just have those not be open. So
Yeah, I agree with that. On that same argument, you could take the Tactician and try to be blue-white and just go on the blue side with Serpent.
yes, but that sort of does lock you into the blue
Agreed.
side of the serpent, whereas now like you can't deviate from that. Whereas if we take the green, we can see what's open between the red, the blue, or the black.
Yeah, yeah, I think I would probably take Courser here. It is too early to try to force any of the other stuff.
I mean, I would be happy to force it if there was something even just like slightly better than the
Yeah,
Gitaxian Skull Flayer, but I think like that would be the choice if we want to force, and it's just not good enough.
yeah, I agree. Defense Grid, bane of my existence in Eternal formats.
Silly Eternal formats. So a couple of options here. We're
My
seeing
forcible is my forcible is supposed to be free, not cost 3.
this is a limited channel, Yanks. Nobody cares. Couple of options here: Fracture, Stone, Power Stone Fracture, and Evolving Wilds are the two cards that jump out to me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I will say Goblin Blast Runner is probably the most overperforming card for me.
Really, that's
Like,
impressive.
no, some of that is I thought the card was complete garbage and unplayable, which is very wrong. But it only goes in one deck. It only goes in the black red deck. But in that deck, that card has been very good.
Yes, I don't think I was as low on it initially, so that's not terribly surprising to me. But I still end up finding myself passing over it most times.
Yeah, and you can definitely wheel it. It's not something you'd ever consider taking here, I don't think. But yeah, I like Fracture. Um, yeah, I think Fracture would probably be my pick here.
Yeah, I'm in the Fracture or Evolving Wilds, so I will take the Fracture. Someone in chat saying that the Opportunist they think is better than the Courser. That's I mean, I agree. I think the Opportunist is very strong. But that Courser is such like a game-winning card. Um this is an interesting choice. The Giant Cinder Maw has played very well for me.
That's what I'm looking at here too.
Even having multiple shoot downs in the deck is reasonable. The Rise to the Ground reasonable. Goring Warplow, we just got a Fracture Stone, so black is also a playable card. But I think the Cinder Maw is just like a great rate.
Yeah, I think that card's just the best card in this pack. Uh, Color wise, yeah, it's not ideal for us, but it does fit with the Serpent, and
Yeah,
we're
I mean
still kind
maybe
of figuring out where we want to be.
maybe red black ends up being the thing.
Yeah,
And then the Courser goes away, which is okay, and we didn't really miss out on anything to take that.
exactly.
I've never really seen a Bushwhack still in a pack. That card I don't actually know the stats on that card, what the win rate is on it, but like that card is not something I see super often.
Yeah, that card's good. I really like Steel Seeker.
Oh yeah, yeah. Steel Seeker is great.
I think not that you would take it here, but I think Gix's Caress has been better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, I mean all of the sort of black draw spells. Excuse me, black draw spells, discard spells, those kinds of cards have been playing way up in the last like year and a half, I would say. Yeah, I think it's we have that courser and we kind of leave ourselves open. Green is looking open. Which one do you like more? You think the Steel Seeker or the Bushwhack? I actually have not played a ton of green in the format.
Yeah, I haven't either. I think I like Steel Seeker better, but uh, you do kind of have to end up in the right sort of Power Stone generation to make that trigger good. And I do think that deck tends to be blue green, which is not where we are, and blue green has been pretty underperforming in my opinion.
Well, red makes some treasures as well. Both green and red both make some power stones.
True.
So I think that's okay. I'm happy to take that, round out our curve a little bit. Um, yeah, I think that is a reasonable spot. It looks like green's open, so
And then no green cards.
yeah. Hero of the Dunes is a big payoff card for black white.
Oh.
This is Hulking Metamorph is not a card that I'm in love with by any means. I'm feeling Disfigure.
Yeah, it's interesting that other than Disfigure, I mean, Hero of the Dunes for the specific deck, I think most of the good cards in this pack are blue. Um, I like Combat Courier. I love Mightstone's animation. I like Metamorph, but none of them enough to take it to go into another color above Disfigure, which has just been good.
You love Metamorph? I found it to be just fine.
I like it least out of those three cards, out of those three blue cards, but I still think it's better than most of the rest of the pack.
I feel like Mightstone animation is like a specific deck. I'm cutting it in most blue decks, and then I like the Combat Courier, but like Mightstone and Metamorph, I'm pretty neither here nor there in most decks, even blue ones. They're kind of build around and synergy heavy, which
I don't think. I mean, I can see where I can see that on the animation. Metamorph isn't really built around.
I mean it's just a
It's
really
a clone.
shitty rate 3/3 usually.
Well, it's a clone.
Oh, it says artifact or creature. For some reason I thought it was
Yeah.
only artifact to be fair, but yeah.
Now it's you control, right? So it's not ideal. That's why it's not a rare. If it was,
I
anybody,
did think
would
it was
be a
only
rare.
artifact.
Yeah. Um, I still think Disfigure is probably the right pick here.
Seeing some green and some black still. Another Power Stone Fracture. Shoot Down is a card I'm certainly willing to play.
Yeah, this is kind of all over the place. Um, it feels like we're getting pushed into black green.
I think so. And my instinct would be Fracture.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Prowler. And we still only have two green spells. So like maybe a Combat Courier here if we think we would rather shift into blue because we are seeing a fair amount of blue cards.
Yeah, I don't love either of the green cards here. They're playable, but
Yeah, I think
I
the
like
Blanche is
Courier.
playable, but I think the Courier is actively good, and because of the Blade Coil Serpent, we would prefer to be in blue.
I like Courier good. That is a very late Scrapwork cohort. That card's been very overperforming.
Agreed.
But we have no white. Yeah, I think I like specking on the Courier.
The other cool thing is the Transmog Altar. I've actually been really enjoying that card.
Oh, I have not played or played against that card.
Yeah, you just get like one or two of the golem that just comes back, and it's super good.
Oh, the Clay Revenant.
Yeah. And also you just like upgrade all your stuff that like want you to sacrifice stuff, which is really nice. But I'm okay with specking on the blue just because of the Blade Coil Serpent. If it wasn't for
Yeah.
that, I think I'm taking the Transmog Altar. Oh, Clay Revenant! No! Why?
Um.
I still want to take the Revenant.
Yeah.
We have double Power Stone Fracture, so like
Yeah.
that's
It
like the
works
low
well. It
end.
works. It works well with that. Yeah. And nothing else is exciting.
Oh man, I want the Saki thing. Can we take it? Can we go get it? Um, I mean, the Hoarding Spider's not bad. I actually lost to my opponent having one card in deck when they had used a Hoarding Spider to put it there, and I was super disappointed.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, super close game. We could also take the
um,
Self-Assembler and get the memes going.
I don't mind self-assembler. I don't think we're going to be doing enough Power Stone stuff for Ally Animist.
I think the correct choice is the Hoarding Recluse.
Probably, but the self-assembler seems more fun.
Yeah, and it's wheeling, right? Like the power plant's
Yeah.
still in here, so maybe we get there. Let's put the Cinder down. Ooh, now do we take the Evolving Wilds or the Mind Worker?
I mean, if we're gonna meme, we're gonna meme, right?
All right, meme it up. Let's go.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, I wanted real opinions here. Oh, look, rewarded.
Yeah.
See, we knew, guys. We didn't need it. It was fine. We're not playing a fog.
No, someone did cast that against me yesterday. It was really annoying. But I don't even remember what Slagstone Refinery does.
Um,
Oh, it makes tap Power Stones whenever anything goes to the graveyard. Yeah, yeah.
which I don't think we care about. I think we're just taking
No,
it
no.
uncommon.
Yep.
Oh, the whole neighborhood is up in arms. Hey, a last pick playable card. Hey, a rare that's on color and it's really fun to win with. But we also have the Opportunist, which I think is fantastic.
Oh.
What do you think in Yanks?
I feel like this format has been too fast for Painful Quandary.
Really? I've played it once and like I got some good wins with it. It felt pretty strong to me.
I admit I haven't played with it or against it. It just feels like I'm like half the time desperately trying to survive on turn 5.
Interesting.
Um,
That has not been my experience. I do think Opportunist is strong enough to make this a discussion, but I think that Painful Quandary is a very playable card that can close out some sweet games, especially in a board stall situation. Holy smokes. And if
Yeah, I
you're
don't-
ahead and you play this, they have no chance.
I agree with that. I just generally don't value cards that are great when you're ahead that much. Because most cards are pretty good when you're ahead. Just putting another body on the board is pretty good when you're ahead.
I mean, this is harder to get out of than another body, though.
Yeah.
I think the best card in the deck is probably like the Excavation Explosion. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
So, but the only thing we're really looking at here for our deck is the Quandary and the Opportunist. So it sounds like you'd rather go Opportunist?
I would. I would probably take Opportunist. I might even take, maybe not since we already have removal, but I would even consider Disfigure over Quandary. But I don't think I would take it. I wouldn't take it here because we already have 3 cheap removal spells, but
I like the Opportunist, especially if we're going to meme with the Self-Assembler, but I think Quandary is a lot better than you give it credit for.
it might be.
So we could have had 2 Transmog Altars, 2 Clay Revenants. Holy smokes, Yanks. You killed us.
And be dead on turn 6.
No, it would have been amazing. But do we take the Power Worker for the memes, or do we try to wheel it?
I think we try to wheel it.
Especially because I feel like the Tower Worker is not like super highly picked.
No.
We have 1/1, 2 2s. Curve wise, we are looking at Goring Warplow. It helps fill that 2-drop curve.
Yeah, it's either
Although,
Warplow or another Disfigure.
I know I
in
didn't
my
really think
opinion.
about this before, but we are getting closer to mono green. We have the two Power Stone Fractures, a Disfigure, and a Clay Revenant. That's not like a ton.
And the serpent
Which, I
could be a
mean,
different. It could be blue or red, but
but if we're close to mono green anyway, it's not going to come into play with a ton of effects anyway. So
yeah,
maybe Blanchwood armor is like a thing to consider.
yeah. I'm still off of Blanchwood armor.
My instinct is the Goring Warplow.
I think it's Warplow. I think Disfigure is an option, but I don't think we need it.
I find that the removal is good enough in this format to where I'm not running multiple Disfigures. Oh,
I
it's
think
heartbreaking. Another explosion.
yeah, I think the removal is good enough. I want a lot of cheap removal.
Opportunist?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty easy. The Seeker is good too, but like, I really want to be getting to my selfless assemblers, right?
Exactly.
Hey, there's a tower worker.
Yeah. Um. I think it's Tower Worker or I mean Thraxodemon is fine.
Thraxodemon is great with the Clay Revenant.
Yeah.
I
Fine.
think Thraxodemon is the correct choice between the two, and it's not particularly close. So I think the question is just, what, how badly do we want to meme?
I think we take Thraxodemon. If that stuff's not wheeling, then we're not going to want to do it anyway.
Okay.
I think.
And the nice thing is with the selfless assembler too, we can like be a little. We don't need such a high quantity of them. We really just need
Yep.
one of each.
Yep. Agreed.
Gruesome realization's fine.
Yeah, I like that card.
Another Power Stone Fracture. I actually really like the Sprite.
I do too. I think I like that more than Rust Goliath.
Yeah, I do like Rust Goliath.
Agreed. But I
I've
like
been
the
playing
sprite.
him
A
so
lot. I like
much
the sprite a
less.
lot.
Honestly, Sprite just wins games. Like sometimes you just play him out of two and they just can't block it, and you're just like, okay. Wow, so much white. Gnarling Pallbearer is not a card I care about at all. I'd rather take the Infiltrator.
Yeah, I agree. I think Infiltrator Dredging Claw is interesting just because of Clay Revenant, but um, I think I'd rather have Infiltrator.
Wow, Battery Bearer still in the pack. So we've got a couple of things that are making treasures, right? We've got the two Opportunists, and we are planning on having some of the Mana Dorks in the deck. Maybe this is a deck where Suchi Cave Guard is like a possibility.
Yeah, I think that's fine here. There's nothing else we really want.
One or two more. Oh, we got the painful quandary anyway. I'm playing. Oh, Transmog Altar. Boo. I think I want the painful quandary.
Yeah, I think that's fine here.
We're gonna play it. Oh, the Revenant Wield too. Now I want the Transmog Altar that I just passed.
Oops.
Oops. It's fine. We're gonna get even more of them. I'm just gonna take the uncommon for vault value. Our deck is open, so that's all we can ask for. Is there a world where we play the Takashi's Dig Site? Probably.
I think so. Yeah.
It depends on how we feel about the Stonecoil Serpent.
Yeah. We're not going to play the other cards, so not
Gigamole.
impossible. Not impossible. We play that.
Yep. I took it over an uncommon. The Battlethopter is quite good, right?
Yeah.
You may cast colorless spells as long as they have flash. Whenever you cast a spell, if the amount spent was higher, it gets +1/+1 counter. It's just like a good card on its own.
Yeah, and we're not really passing up much. What, a third fracture for a Gaia's Gift?
Our red removal would be quite good. We'd have like,
Yeah, the two explosions and obliterating bolt.
yeah. All right. Oh, this is not great.
Yeah, looking at either Boulder Branch Golem or Giant Growth.
Yeah, I mean, I would say don't sleep on the Sigil of Valor either,
Sigil's fine. Yeah.
especially with like Clay Revenants and stuff, where it's like our creature count's always going to be a tad higher than normal. Like that card is just pretty annoying.
Yeah.
I like the Goring Warplow and the Suchi Guard more than I like the Boulder Branch.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Then we can take the Sigil.
Gnawing Vermin is okay with sack outlets.
Yeah, I think that card's fine.
Oh, Power Plant.
Power Plant Worker. Yeah, the Tower Worker didn't wheel.
It didn't, but I think if we want to try to make it happen, we got to take this, and we're not missing out on a ton.
Yeah, let's try it. Why not?
I mean, we're only missing out on a Vermin, which I think
Yeah.
we've got 2 1-drop Clay Revenants. It's fine.
Yep.
We're not missing out on a ton.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Exile target non-creature artifact or enchantment. I mean, this is probably the better choice.
Yeah, probably.
I didn't see it at first because I just like hadn't been playing green, but we're gonna try to power plant. All right, where are you? Oh, here's another opportunist though.
Wow, this is a lot of cards for a deck.
Yeah, wow, Scrapwork Rager and Gurgling Anointer.
And Mask.
Oh yeah, I like Mask, but I don't know if I like it more than those 3 cards though.
No, I don't. Gurgling Anointer is what? Whenever you
Draw your second card, it gets a +1/+1 counter,
yeah.
and then you bring a card back.
Yeah, so we're not going to be doing that much.
I mean, we've Corsair. We've got
The Gruesome Realization.
yeah.
That's it.
So my instinct is I like Scrapwork Rager a lot. I think the Opportunist is good, but our 3-drop slot's covered.
Yeah, I think I would take the Rager, either the Rager or the Mask here, and I think it's the Rager.
Rager it is. Oh, Overwhelming Remorse, finally.
Yep.
Oh, but no, the Tower Worker, Yanks!
Yeah, you have to take the Remorse. It's too good.
I agree. I was excited. I was like, oh, good, finally black premium removal. How is my Lizard Friend, my favorite card in the set, still in this pack? Honestly, I don't think we're really running much of this.
No, probably not. I might take the Energy Refractor if we want to play it and try to cheese stuff with the Serpent. We can.
I mean, for a half of a buy-in on the
I'm not saying it's good, but we're probably not playing anything here. So
yeah, it's not only not good; it's just not making the cut. I would play the Astronaut's Intervention before I try to cheese in a Serpent like that.
yeah, that's probably true.
Hang on one second. Oh shit, Mama May! Thank you so much. Thank you. Mama May gifted 10 subs to the channel. Mama May, one of the D-gens in the channel. Thank you so much, hun. Happy birthday, says Mama May. Thank you. Really appreciate you. Amazing hype. Thank you. Okay. guys, spam some corgi butts, especially if you got one of those gifted subs. You're getting more channel points, lots of cool stuff going on this weekend. Sub tournaments, you name it. Yeah, I would definitely take the Ashnod's intervention before playing playing the Fractor. Now, someone is pointing out the Power Stone is a good
Power
target
Stone.
for that.
Yep.
But I think that's what the Clay Revenants are really for.
It's good with Power Stone. It's good with Steel Seeker.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, I still don't think that's enough.
Now, if we don't get a worker, we're going to cut the assembly worker, mine worker nonsense. That means we're a little short on playables, so we could definitely take it. Creature count real high, so the Ashnod's intervention less important. So yeah, we could take the Refractor. I could also see the Prowler being a good pick here. That the Prowler also works very well with the Power Stone Fractures as well.
Yep.
Because you get the land, but then you sack it.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll take the Energy Refractor, see where we are. Hey, a Bushwhack. It's pretty late.
Yeah, I think I would take that here.
Agreed. Random 3-drop. I think that's fine.
Yep.
Oh, actually, no. I like the Skull Flare. I didn't see that card. I think that's better than the Patrol.
Yeah, I think it probably is.
Another Power Stone. I'm okay with it now. With the 2 Clay Revenants, I'm okay to run basically as many Power Stone Fractures as we want.
Yeah, especially now that on the wheel, there's nothing else you're going to want there. Take Intervention here, so we have one if we decide to play it.
Yeah, the other card is cute. The Assassin with the 2 Clay Revenants.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if the emergency weld is a little bit better because of all the Power Stone Fractures, but
I think it's fine. I've had that card played against me a lot. It's always seemed to be pretty good.
I've always been not that impressed by it. You have to have good things worth getting back. Now we have the Suchi Cave Guard, Serpent, all naturals, also not bad. And it, just gives you an extra body is fine.
Yeah, I mean, I think basically, you're basically cycling it and getting a 1/1 back.
Holy shit. The Gurgling Anointer Wield, I think this card's definitely worth playing.
Yeah, I think that's fine. There's nothing else there we really want.
We definitely had the open lane. A lot of cuts to make here. I think it's...
Yeah. Well, it's the whole meme. It's the meme package.
Yeah, absolutely. Get rid of the welder, the power plant, and the mine worker. I think it's energy refractor as well. We're just so far off of it. I'm just gonna move everything over to the right hand side. I'm gonna put the war plow into the second spot. I'm gonna put the sigil over, see how many creatures we end up with. I like my 5s. I like my top end. Gigamole, I'm pretty indifferent to.
Yep.
Anointer is weaker in this deck. Caress is always cuttable. Weld. I like everything else here. And I like most of this stuff too. So that would be 6 cards to cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I pulled aside.
Yes, it'd be one more.
If you like those cuts, you might disagree with some of them.
No, not particularly. We don't have enough draw to really make the Anointer worth it, unfortunately.
Let's take a look at our creature count here. 16, that's fine.
I think for me it's probably Skull Flare. I'm not as high on that card as you are. But it could also be, it could be one of the two Revenants, although they're nice with the 3 Fractures and with Thraxodemon.
Yeah, I mean, we have 4 3-drops. I am higher on it, certainly. Especially with the fact that our deck is like sack themed, the Clay Revenants can trigger it pretty easily.
I mean, it's really just the removal that's sacrifice, right? And Thraxodemon, nothing else sacrifices here.
That's a lot in a deck. Right, that's why we have the Clay Revenants in the deck in the first place, is because we want to be sacrificing a ton. If you're saying we don't have that much sacrifice and we want to cut one of the Clay Revenants.
I probably would cut one of those Clay Revenants.
I would cut a Clay Revenant before the Skull Flare. I love three drops that will also then scale into the late game and become huge problems, which that card really does.
Yeah. Again, I haven't played this set that much, but I don't think I've ever seen that card do anything on the battlefield. But again, that's just board state. I haven't seen a ton of black-green, which is where it's at its best. So.
Agreed. I mean, on turn 3, it's not doing the thing, right? But like,
sure.
It makes your 3-drops that you draw on turn 10. Then it's good versus like just the 3/3 that on an empty hand. Someone says Painful Quandary, definitely the cut. Cut the Painful Quandary, says 2 people. Interesting. That card is too fun. I don't think that card is a bomb. But I don't know that it's super high on the cut list.
Yeah, I'm kind of down on the card, but just from where we were initially, I don't think it's bad.
People are suggesting cutting a land as well. That's all. I don't think that's correct.
No.
I would be okay with a Revenant.
Revenant I think Revenant would probably be my choice. Other than Skull Flare, but I know you like it more. Plus, we don't have a ton of 3s, so I think it's reasonable to keep it either way. True. Yeah.
I'm fine with the Skull Flare. Do we want to cut a dig site for another swamp for the Blade Quail Serpent?
No, I don't think so. I like having dig site in the deck.
Yeah, I've found dig site to be a little less useful than normal. Like, I mean, not dig site specifically, but that cycling mechanic, because there has been a lot of cards like Mutt, and there's like the blue one. There's a lot of like rummaging and looting that I've found to be valuable, but we don't have it in this deck, so I'm fine with keeping it. This seems fine. They have the best card in the set, and we are gonna die.
Too bad. Like, I almost wish we didn't have a 2-drop because you could just set up for realization. Oh, that's -1. Never mind.
I was like, how does that help?
I had the two abilities flipped.
It does mean we shouldn't play the Gitaxian Flayer, because I think that there are a fair amount of X1s in the red, white.
And red-white, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not really interested in playing the Infiltrator until a little bit later.
Agreed. Like that.
Yep. Do we just slam it? Or should we play, like, something? Oh, no, because it'll just go away. That's kind of tough, actually.
Yeah, the problem is we can't play anything. Everything we play dies to it.
Yep.
Oh, no, wait. Pop realization up again. I think I get this wrong every time.
You can draw.
Yeah, it's opponent's control.
Oh, you're right. It is opponent's.
I knew I had gotten that wrong before.
Okay, then I think we just infiltrate her.
Yeah.
Are we wanting to trade any of this for what they've got going on?
I
think not. We're gonna take a big beating next turn, though.
Yeah. The only way to keep it back is if you wanted to double block the Stone Seeker.
Yeah.
I guess it also holds back the 1/1.
Yeah, I like holding it back for the 1/1. Even just for that, even if we're not going to block. Because we just need to survive the initial, and they're not willing to make that trade. Okay, I think we should take this.
Yeah.
Especially because we don't have a great play next turn.
Yep.
Annoying. The funny thing is, I actually think we just Goring Warplow to block that. Because I'm worried that if we Realization now, they'll just unearth the cohort and we'll take a bunch more damage next turn.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to do that whenever we Realization, right?
Yes. So I'm hoping that we would stabilize, right? So, like, we kill off the Mishra's Juggernaut, find something that can block the cohort or whatever reasonably well.
If we play Warplow and block the Juggernaut, are we blocking the cohort? Because otherwise we're still taking 7.
Maybe the plan is to block the cohort with the Infiltrator and then force them to reuse it and get to kill
both tokens.
Both tokens? Yeah, the curve has just been brutal, and our opponents were also on the play. So we're in a tough spot here.
Yeah, this is what this format has felt like to me the entire time.
Do you want to block the cohort?
I don't think we can, because we take 7 to go to 8. Even if we sweep it, they'll just unearth the Juggernaut, right?
Yep.
At least this forces them to, you know, they can only unearth one of the two things.
That helps some.
Yep.
What's our best? Our best draw's like a. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's super not good.
That's definitely not good.
Well, at least we can block one of them. Yeah, problems, but they also can't pump now, so that's cool.
Yeah, but do we just take? I guess we just take 5.
Probably.
At least we don't. We just can't block anything in the air anyway.
I don't think we can afford to risk the spider on with the 2 ambushers.
Yeah, then you still take 2. You would still take 2 anyway, so it's only saving 3.
Okay, make them discard their last 2 cards, I guess.
Yep.
We have exactly 6. Pay 0. Yep.
Yep.
So that'll be helpful. I'm sure. I think they hit 5. Oh, it's a mutt. And a land that they were going to discard. All right, that's like kind of helpful. And the nice thing is the paratrooper doesn't even trade with the spider. So that's good for now.
Yep.
Alright, play the mutt, pitch what they drew. That's unfortunate. It lets them redraw their dead draw, but like, you know, we got rid of the mutt the first time around. That's cool. I'm wondering, should we Gruesome Realization to draw cards? Because at this point, we're not scared of the 1/1. Oh, maybe not. Oh, yeah, definitely not. That card gives them more card advantage. There's nothing they can do here.
Yeah, just why not? It's the why not attack.
Yeah. And they're a ways away from being able to do anything else with that gruesome with the double pump the ambushers. So I think we're okay to just kill their card advantage card. Makes me a little sad, but here we are.
Yeah, and then you can start. I mean, at worst case, we could start pumping the Sprite.
Yes. Do we want to get in with the Sprite? It makes it so that way if they alpha, if we want to kill the Stone Seeker, we would take 4 damage, essentially. Because we can only block one thing. So I think we're waiting.
Yeah, I think we're waiting.
And they could always get the cohort back and do a little damage. Yeah, I'm interested in waiting. And hopefully their top decks are not great. Is that just enough? Dope. Yep. Awesome.
And it gives us an attacking threat.
Yeah. A big one. Yeah. That's awesome. Wait one more turn?
Yeah. I don't think we want to attack here.
It's getting closer.
Yeah, it's still the extra body is scary from the cohort, especially if they have another flash thing or anything else.
A removal spell.
Yeah.
We might have turned a corner. Ooh, that's a good one.
Yep. Especially because now one of the flyers can get in, unless we want to trade for it.
Which I think we do?
I think we have to.
And maybe we can race them with the Shu-Chi, right?
What's the Recluse's ability?
Put something back on the bottom of our library.
Well, you can get rid of their cohort.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I like that.
We still have to find an answer for the paratrooper, but...
Well, yes and no. I mean, we might just be able to race that. It'll be close, but... This comes into play tapped. This has Menace, so I think we just attack with only the 8/8 for now.
Yeah.
If they spend all of their mana, we're still on a 3-turn clock. So this Cave Guard might be...
I mean, the Cave Guard's also a 3-turn clock, but only if they don't ever block.
Yeah, but a 3-turn clock with us having pressure as well. And we have the Sprite, which is also pressure.
Yep.
They would have to spend all their mana and have one of their cards turn sideways. I feel like that's, at this point, pretty fair race. And we have so much removal in our deck. Go, little cave sprite. They're choosing not to attack. Yeah.
That's good.
I think it's, a reasonable battle here. Do you like attacking with 2 creatures? It's getting closer.
Particularly. Yeah, I don't think yet, but it is getting closer. The thing that scares me is just any sort of flash creature and the pump for Falaji.
We can't block the flyer regardless. And even if they have a flash creature, we'd still have 3 blockers to go after the 2 things. And if they have a flash creature, I guess they could still pump, but that's still 4 damage, 5 damage.
Well, the other thing is the flash creature, right, triggers Falaji Vanguard. So they would just get to eat something with the first.
Well, if we attack with the Sprite, though, we're presenting lethal.
True.
So they have to block.
And the Shu-Chi stays back. It's vigilant. Yeah, I think that's okay.
Yeah, 4 blockers is kind of a lot. I think we don't pump the Sprite, though.
Yep, agreed.
And we play the blocker. So here's the thing. I think that they might not be playing creatures because they're trying to make Ambusher lethal.
Lethal, yeah.
So I like pressuring that last turn. So that way next turn we have some serious oomph. Because they need to play... They can't pump and play creatures. So they just
have to play 3 creatures.
Yeah. And they could have a spell that says put 3 1/1s into play, right? So I think if we're too slow here, it could be bad.
Yeah, there is the 6 mana make 4 soldiers.
Maybe we should have attacked with the other 5 as well, because then we would have represented lethal again with the pump from the Sprite, or would have been close. 5, 6, 7 would have been 1 off.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to play 3 creatures, right?
They would have to have a land and then the 6 mana make 4 1/1 soldier spell.
There's also just a world where they've top decked 3 1 or 2 drops.
Sure.
And then we cry. Oh god. Oh my god. Hold on to your butts.
It's bolt to the face. I thought it might have been bolt to the face.
Oh. Whew. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hiya. So close. Scared. Hey! Wow, that's nice.
Yep. I feel like we have a problem in the Avatar matchup. I feel like Jetmir is just going to eat the rice ball.
No.
Hold on,
I am gonna... We could hold off on the Revenant to play Steel Seeker, but I don't think it's worth it.
Okay. I wanted to have that question.
I think we have enough. And I definitely wouldn't, like, this turn, for example, I wouldn't want to play the Steel Seeker and not be able to block with it this turn. I think this is just okay.
Yep.
And we certainly have enough other things to trigger it, and including the Clay Revenant. We'll just throw it under a bus and then do the thing. It also makes it so the Power Stone is lethal. Or, you know, Power Stone can do stuff.
Yeah.
I think I'm just blocking here.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
They could remove it, but, like, that's not the end of the world either. That's not bad.
No, not at all.
I'll play that. I do not want to put that in my graveyard, right?
No, I think we want to keep that.
It's pretty good. We need the land, but I don't think we need it that badly. No blocks. Spider?
Yep.
I'm never blocking with this Thopter, right?
No, we just attack with both, right?
I'm trying to think of what the other flash creatures are. Is it
Most
just blue and white that have them?
Those are the only ones I can think of.
Alright, Steel Seeker into then. Sure. We can put in the Revenant, which will trigger the Seeker, or we can Opportunist, which will trigger the Seeker. Either way, we can't use the Opportunist to cast any of these spells. So I'm thinking I like the Clay Revenant better to open up the Fracture.
Well, I think the Opportunist opens up the Fracture too, because you could always sack the Power Stone.
You could, but you probably won't want to. I would rather sack the Revenant in that choice, right?
Yeah, I think Opportunist does a lot more on the board, though.
Yeah, that is true if we want to be the ones pressuring. Graveyard?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I just want to Clay Revenant.
Yeah.
See what we get.
That's fine.
Play with the Forest, I think. I mean, we want more Power Stones for what? Suchi?
Suchi.
And it also just re-triggers the Speaker again to try to draw the land. So it's like basically the same thing. We get to take a look at the next card regardless.
Yeah, what are we... Yeah.
Do we want... I think we attack with this.
Yeah, I think so.
What about the Recluse? Are we wanting to trade? I don't think we want to attack.
No, I think the Recluse can stay back. See, why do they have Revenant in their deck? What are their sacrifice outlets?
I mean, sometimes people just... I think Revenant's also just okay. I've seen a lot of people play these kinds of things. There's just like infinite blockers. They might have like a few.
Yep. That makes sense. So now you can put it on the bottom of it. Well, you can just respond.
Should I put their Clay Revenant on the bottom?
You should. They'll return it to their hand in response, probably, but...
Ooh, that's true.
But it's not like there's anything else we really want to put on the bottom.
It does force them to do nothing else this turn.
Exactly, yeah.
That's kind of fine. They put it back into play tapped.
Yeah.
Okay. Down to one card. Come on, give me an untapped land so I can play this Quandary and you'll never get to play another spell ever again. I would like that. Please. Ah! I mean, honestly, I'm okay to keep it too. Because we have Clay Revenant, we can just continue to do the thing, and all the Clay Revenant we can use its abilities with the Power Stones we're making, so...
Yeah, and I think we can just draw with Gruesome Realization next turn.
Yeah, I like that. And they have only one card in hand. We'll have 2 removal spells that we can just kill everything with.
Yep.
Yeah, we have enough for Power Stone and to bring back and play Clay Revenant. So, great. Didn't we keep a 4-lander?
It was either 4 or 3 in our first draw was a land, one of the 2.
Oh, hello. That's a lot. Discard 2 cards, huh?
You can theoretically discard Fracture since we're just about to draw one.
Yeah.
Probably Courser.
Yeah, it could also be the Painful Quandary. I like that we have the removal for the Serpent, and then when we land Quandary, they can then no longer cast spells ever again.
And they're Hellbent, so it can't be really hard for them to discard to it.
It's either Courser or Realization. I think they kind of do the same thing. I would rather have the Courser, I think.
I guess. I like having the ability to actually do something next turn.
I think we're going to Power Stone next turn, regardless.
Yeah, probably right.
I guess there's nothing stopping us from just double blocking this, though, if we wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
And just double blocking with the Clay Revenant and the Opportunist? That doesn't sound awful.
I think that's fine.
They have no cards in hand. That does unfortunately mean we don't have anything to do next turn, except for bring back the Clay Revenant.
Bring back Revenant and see what's on top.
It's a land!
Reveal it.
Put that card into your hand. Woohoo! We did it! We're at 13. I'm okay to attack still.
Yeah.
I feel like we're ahead in this race.
Yeah, that makes sense that they chump, because now they can get a counter on their Skull Flare.
Ooh, that's true. Should we blow up the Skull Flare?
I think so.
Alright. You'll never cast another thing again. He 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 he.
I really don't know why they didn't bring back and replay Revenant there.
I don't know either, to be honest. And now it goes to their hand, so they can't even replay it without discarding every card that they play from here on out.
Yep.
We just get, like, 1 for O's forever now. Sure. They can discard the Clay Revenant over and over again.
Yeah.
But I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it forces them to invest a bunch of mana.
We could play it super safe and play like War Plow for 2 and then Clay Revenant.
Or just... I don't think there's any reason to be that safe.
I agree. They have to top deck exactly removal for us to be, like, kind of sad about this, but...
Or then we just untap and play a 5/4 War Plow.
Yeah. Are they... Oh, they're playing the Clay Revenant, discarding the land. Great. Do we get to draw cards? Yes, we do. Feels great. We had lethal if I just killed her thing. Great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That wasn't...
We don't need no stinking lethal. Overrated.
I heard draw cards. That's more important than lethal.
Yeah, that's all I saw. I was like, oh, good, draw cards. I didn't really, like, think about anything else. I was just like, that's cool.
I mean, you've seen me play Magic. I don't want to kill them. I want them to give up.
Fair.
I'd like to end this video with a special thank you to those of you guys who have signed up for my Patreon. Without my wonderful patrons, none of this content would be possible. If you'd like to support this content and get your name up on the Wall of Fame, you can sign up for our Patreon by using the link down below in the description. Another way you can support the channel is by using code MNG5 with Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find cool stuff in stock. They have everything you need for Magic, board games, and any of your other nerdy hobbies.